In our case, we were really fortunate because the Sci-Fi Channel wasn't any more interested in doing another space opera like all the other ones out there than we were. And in fact, had we not walked in with an idea that they felt sufficiently deviated from Star Trek and Stargates and all the other things that had sort of come before, we wouldn't have sold it anyway. And because neither of us were really interested in doing that either, it was a very natural sort of relationship from the very get-go, because what they wanted and what we were trying to sell were conceptually and philosophically one and the same. You run into trouble when you're trying to sell something that they don't actually want. Sometimes they'll buy it anyway, and you'll find out much too late, after everyone spent millions of dollars and taking years off their lives, that they don't actually want that. And in our case, we disagree sometimes and we have arguments, but I think Ron would agree too. We've both done shows before this for a variety of different networks, and we never really come to a place where in any kind of fundamental conceptual level we disagree with what the show is. We've always been in lockstep with our buyer, with our network, about what the show is, and that's a rare thing, and I think that has a lot to do with why people feel about the show the way they do.
I remember the pitch. The pitch went really well. I mean, we pitched it a couple times. You had to pitch it to the network, studio first, and then we pitched it to the network, and the president of the network, Bonnie Hammer, was in New York, and it was a video conference, which I had never done, which was bizarre and distracting. You're in this conference room, long table, we're all sitting around here, and there's like little camera, and then over there on this big screen TV is kind of Spectre, it's like there's Bonnie in New York, and she's just kind of looking, and then there's a picture-in-picture at the bottom of the screen,
which is us.
And I'm like trying to pitch to her, and I keep looking down at myself. I'm like, am I in frame? Oh, where was I? But the thing that struck me the most was how engaged she was at the pitch, and I was just telling her the story of Galactica. Here's this place, and there's the ship, and it's going to be a museum, and she was like intrigued. And the moment I knew I had her was I said, oh, and then there's Starbuck, who in our version is a woman. And Bonnie went, yes. She really did. And I was like, okay, we're making this show.